Hey, what is going on, guys? XpertFusion here, and of course, as we all know, DLC 4 is coming out really soon, this Monday to be exact, and I'm insanely excited for this, but I've been noticing a lot of just overall negativity around the community regarding Black Ops 4 Zombies as a whole. I didn't see this type of negativity a few months ago, honestly. Like, it was more divided. It was still divided, but it wasn't as divided as I feel like it is now. I feel like there's such a big community that is just talking about how bad this game is, how specifically Zombies is, how terrible of a mode it is, how it's the worst Zombies experience ever. And I'm sitting here like, well, why and how? I mean, yes, it's all under the impressions of opinions. I understand what opinions are. I think a lot of people get angry when I kind of go against their opinions and kind of question their opinions. They think, oh my god, it's my opinion, why you gotta attack me? I'm like, I'm just trying to start civil debate. I like doing that. I enjoy having civil conversations. Even if we disagree, we can come to some common ground, or we can kind of share and learn each other's opinions and ideas. But when you say something so certain as it's a shit mode, I'm gonna be a little more against your opinion, because it's just a massive way. Because what people like to do, right? They like to play a game, and if they don't enjoy it, they just call it shit. They call it bad. They don't take time to think of why they may not enjoy it. And that's what I love to do. I love to reason out why I don't enjoy something, because I can actually determine whether or not it's actually a bad game. I don't like calling games bad. I don't like calling movies or shows bad. There are some objectively bad movies and shows and games I've seen played, whatever. But just because I'm not interested in it or I'm not really enjoying it does not mean it's bad. There might be some really good writing behind a movie. There might be some really good imagery. Like, let me give you an example. Game of Thrones. I think Game of Thrones is a pretty well-written show for what I've seen, right? But I have no interest in it. I have zero interest in it. Every time I watch it, I get bored and I'm like, bro, I do not want to watch this. I'm not watching this damn show. Does that make it a bad show, in my opinion? Not even close. Just from hearing community feedback from, I mean, obviously the recent season people hated, but in terms of previous seasons, people loved it. I'm assuming that it's probably pretty damn good. A game like Destiny, for example, I think it's a pretty well-rounded game. It's just not for me. I have no interest in it, you know? That's kind of how it is. And I think people can't really, they don't want to do that. They don't want to admit that something's not personally for them. So instead, they jump on the bandwagon hate train, which obviously other people feel the same way, so then they start saying things and they start finding reasons to hate it. And there might not even be major reasons. There's always something they gotta find to hate. It's happening with the Modern Warfare beta. People aren't having a good time because maybe, I don't know, maybe they're not a child anymore, maybe they're not loving video games as much as they used to, right? And they're playing this game and they're like, why am I not having the same fun I had back in 2010 with Modern Warfare 2? And so they start putting all these different things in their head and they start looking at the game itself and finding little nitpicks that aren't really problems, but they want to make it a problem, and then that problem gets fixed and they're like, oh shit, I gotta find something else to complain about. So they hop on the next thing to complain about. It's what the brain does. They want to find correlations with things. They want to find correlations with everything. Why you don't like this? Your brain wants to find a correlation. And I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty of Black Ops 4. I'm going to go over the 5 main points that I think makes a Zombies mode good or bad, or a Zombies map good or bad, and I'm going to go over the main points that people have and when they're talking about why they don't like Black Ops 4 Zombies, and I'm going to kind of refute them in my opinions. And we'll just talk about it as a whole. Obviously, this is just for Black Ops 4 Zombies. I'm not talking about multiplayer or Blackout. Those are separate things. When I'm talking about Black Ops 4, I'm talking about the Zombies experience for this specific video. I do enjoy multiplayer and Blackout to an extent, but this video, I want to stay focused on Zombies. So first of all, what makes a Zombies map or mode good or bad? What are the main things that people should care about, the main factors that people should care about? So this is the 5 things that I've listed off. This includes gameplay, story, Easter eggs, atmosphere, and innovation. Those 5 things. Gameplay includes the stuff like the in-map features, the mechanics, the actual like guns, the wonder weapons, the perks, just how everything flows together. And it kind of includes the enjoyment aspect out of it. Story includes the plot progression, the story points, the characters, the quotes, the cutscenes, all that good stuff. The Easter eggs include the main Easter egg quest as well as side Easter eggs, so just stuff that adds into the game and makes it more fun, that adds to the lore. And Easter eggs to me are one of the major parts of zombies nowadays. It wasn't really that big in like World at War and Black Ops 1, but now it's huge, and I would say it's more important and more popular than something like high rounds. Back then it was all high rounds, now it's more about Easter eggs. So that is something important to note. I think a lot of people who were high rounder type guys don't really like this game because this game doesn't really favor high round gameplay as much as it does for Easter egg gameplay, and that's a fair point. But you can't just hate a whole game just because it isn't for you. Just like I said, you can not like it, but you can't call it shit. You know what I mean? It's unfair to call something shit when it's just not for you. Then we got atmosphere, which includes the locations, what everything, how it looks, the soundtrack, the ambience, all that great stuff. And then innovation. So this is obviously just stuff that's new, stuff that's game-changing, that hasn't been in the game before. Something that keeps the game fresh while still retaining the OG zombies feel that we all know and love. So I don't consider Black Ops 4 Zombies to be the worst or the best mode we've ever had. I don't. Whenever I'm defending it, for some reason, people jump on this train that they're like, bro, you must have started playing Black Ops Zombies in like Black Ops 3. You must have not been here during World at War. Or, bro, how can you say this is the best Zombies mode? I'm like, okay, first of all, I've been here since World at War. Well, technically, I've been here before that. For Zombies, I've been here since World at War in 2008. For Call of Duty itself, I've been here since 2006. I've been playing each and every COD since then. So don't try to call me some kid who hasn't played, back in the good old Prime days. I was there. I was completely there. So that's a thing. And also, I don't think it's the best mode. Just because I'm defending it does not mean I think it's the best Zombies mode. I still think Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 Zombies, I think both of those modes are better than Black Ops 4. I do enjoy Black Ops 4 more than like World at War. I enjoy it more than Black Ops 1, surprisingly. I enjoy it more than like World War 2 Zombies, more than Advanced Warfare. IW Zombies, I don't know. IW Zombies I like a lot. It's kind of like back and forth with this mode. But I nowhere do I see it as one of the best. I definitely don't see it as one of the worst either. So let's go through these 5 points of, what makes a Zombies mode good or bad, and we'll talk about how I feel about that. So first of all, gameplay. Gameplay, I think, is where this game definitely has the most concern because people care about gameplay the most. Out of those 5 points I mentioned, I'd say the majority of the community cares most about gameplay because gameplay is more for everyone. It's for the casuals, it's for the hardcore. It affects everyone. Like something like the story might not affect everyone because some people just don't care about the story. But there's no one who's going to be playing the game and is not going to care about gameplay. Gameplay is going to be important to everyone because it's just how you play the game itself. You know what I mean? And I feel like Black Ops 4, it's not bad in this aspect, but it's definitely lacking in a couple different ways. First of all, there's a lot of quality of life gameplay things that I don't like. Like, for example, just holding X on an object that doesn't appear on your screen right away. That bothers me. The gameplay, I don't want to really say the HUD is the gameplay. I wouldn't really say it's the same thing, but the HUD is a little conjumbled and it really kind of takes away from the experience sometimes. Some of the new mechanics, like the perk system, the creative class system, I'm not a big fan of, but I'm able to adapt to them, and we're going to talk about those a little bit later as well. But this game has a lot of good gameplay aspects otherwise. You have the operator mods, which add so much replay value to the game because you're going to want to try to level up all these different guns to get the operator mods. And it doesn't take like a minute to level out these guns. It takes some time. So that's a good way to grind out the game, unlock these operator mods. And they do some pretty damn cool things, and it's really awesome to see. The guns are fun to use. I like a lot of them. They're feel good. You can add all sorts of Mastercraft variants to them and stuff like that if you get them within the black market. So that's cool. I like that a lot. The contracts are really fun. You can get the two daily tier skips just for playing zombies if you get to round 20 on the daily map in the daily calling contract, or you can do the contracts that are there that give you reserves or give you Nebullium Plasma. All sorts of that stuff is fine. Elixirs are definitely way more balanced than Gobblegums were. I think they're more fair. I don't really like how they appear on your D-pad, though. I don't like how they take up the whole D-pad slot. That's something I'm not a big fan of. But a lot of the things that I'm mentioning I'm not a big fan of don't really affect the game to that much of an extreme. Like, I see people saying, I'm like, okay, what do you not like about this game? They say, we'll go over the complaints that people have, and I'll refute them, but people say stuff like the HUD or reused assets, and I'm like, is that really enough to hate the whole game? I don't know. Anyways, gameplay to me is enjoyable, though. I can hop in and play till round 20 every day on whatever map is the daily map, and I have a good time. The progression throughout these maps are pretty damn good. I like There's 7 of them right now. Obviously, we're going to get another one this coming Monday, and then we're going to probably get DLC 5, so we're going to get some more maps to play with. But we have so much to play with in gameplay. We have so many modes. We have Rush and Gauntlet. We have custom mutations to mess around with. There's so much stuff you can mess around with in this game that the gameplay just always stays fresh and new to me. I never feel like I'm getting bored, because like something like Black Ops 3, yes, you had a lot of maps to play with, and yes, the maps were really, really good, but you only had the maps. That was it. And then you have your leveling up your weapons, and you had like a few weapons you could level up, and that was really it. You don't have a lot. Every time they add new DLC guns, they add them straight to every single map, and you can get attachments on them. Obviously, you have to unlock them from the supply drop system, which is annoying if you want to put attachments on them, but you can still use them even if you don't have them unlocked, which is great in my opinion. Better than not being able to use them at all. So I like that system a lot. The wonder weapons are fun. That adds into the gameplay. I love a lot of the wonder weapons in this game. People were freaking out. Oh my god, we don't have any new wonder weapons since like Garad Krovi. I'm like, okay, first of all, you're forgetting the Chaos story. We have the Kraken, which is awesome, has the 4 different elemental, not really elemental, but 4 different sort of variants, upgrades to it. You have the Death of Orion, which is pretty fun, the Sekir's Kiss. Was it Death of Orion, or is it the Sekir's Kiss? Or no, it's Sekir's Kiss when you upgrade it, Death of Orion, whatever. And then you have the Gauntlets, Agent Evil, you have the Alistair's Folly, which is so much fun to use, you have Winter's Howl, and there's so many different wonder weapons to use even within the Aether story, and there's a lot of, returning ones as well that still have different variants. Like you have the Reagan Mark II variants, which are so much fun to use. You have the Magma Gat, which isn't the greatest thing in the world, but it's still really fun to use, and it's an easy quest. Something that's huge in this game that makes gameplay so much better is that wonder weapons are available on most of the maps through the box and through an Easter egg quest. So you can get them either way. If you don't want to rely on RNG, you can go do an Easter egg quest. If you don't want to do Easter egg quest, you can get them out of the box. It pleases both of the fan bases, because there's people who wanted wonder weapons in the box, people who wanted the wonder weapons to be available through an Easter egg quest, through like a buildable. They give you both options in this game, and that's fantastic to me. Next up, story. Story, I love in this game. I love it. I love the story. And I know the story people, there's a lot of them who love the story in this game. There's also a lot of story people who don't like the story in this game. It's kind of convoluted. It's really weird to me how a lot of story people are divided. But I like it. Now, obviously, there's 2 different stories. You have the Chaos story, and then you have the Aether story. In terms of the Chaos, I love every second of it. I had no problem with the Chaos story. I think it was interesting from the start. I think people just needed to give time to learn to adapt to it. I think people just don't like something that's different, and that's a major issue to me, is that people just hate different things. But it's different, but it's new, and it's something we haven't seen before. We haven't seen this mythology type aspect being explored. I like the characters. I like what they're doing. I hope they, continue the story in some way, shape, or form in the future. I don't know if they will. I personally don't think they will, but I really hope. I really wish they did, because it was interesting and I enjoyed it. Ether is really getting confusing. I'm gonna be honest, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the confusing story that makes me go through videos and replaying maps over and over again to finally learn and understand the story. I'm fine with that. That just adds more replay value to me. I care more. If it's just a linear story that's just giving you all the details straight up, it's like, okay, you watch it once and you never care about it again. But I'm always learning new story aspects every day. Every day I'm learning something new about the story. That is awesome. I love that. I love how they're giving Samantha actually an important role, because she was one of the most important parts in Black Ops 1 in World of War, and then out of nowhere they just kind of forget about her in Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, and we're like, bro, where the hell, what happened to Samantha? I love how they brought her back and made her actually important. I love how they brought back the Ultimates crew and all their laughter and all that stuff. The Victus is coming back. They really just are doing some good stuff with the story. I like it. I like Dr. Monty and the whole evil aspect of him, and I'm interested to see what happens with DLC 4. So, I don't know. I agree it's a bit confusing, but it's expanding to an everlasting universe, and it's going to end in this one, and I'm sure we're going to have some sort of an expansion of the Aether story in the future, whether it be this reboot or a different timeline or whatever it may be. Now, Easter eggs. Easter eggs in this game, I think, are pretty great for the most part. I haven't had much of a problem with them. I think they're really fun. I think they're replayable. I think Blood of the Dead is a little bit too annoying, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of that Easter egg. Classified is just a stupid Easter egg. Like, why the hell would they make us get to round 150 for an Easter egg quest? That's not a good Easter egg quest. That could be like a side quest, you get some special cutscene, whatever, but like, For the main Easter egg quest on the map, it should not be a high round like 150, maybe like 50 at most, but people just don't have the time or the want to get to round 150. I mean, that takes like hours upon hours. I'm just not really a high round guy, to be honest. Not because I'm not good at it, but because it's just not fun to me. It's not fun to me training around in circles for like hours upon hours. Like once you get past around like 40, you're like, okay, I want to kill myself now. Like I like Easter eggs. You can get them done within an hour. You can, have a good time. You can try to get better times. That's fun to me. That's enjoyable. I like the experience zombies gives you. But when it comes to just running around in circles for hours, I can't do that, man. That's just annoying to me. But all the other Easter egg quests are really good. 9, Ancient Evil, Alpha Omega, the boss fights are awesome. The soundtracks that go along with the Easter eggs are really cool. The side quests, they have a lot of side quests on some of these maps that give you cool features. Like Dead of the Night, you have the Savage Impaler that you can go for. You can go for the wooden steak knife. All sorts of cool things that you can get on these maps that revolve around side quests. I love that a lot. Next up is Atmosphere. Atmosphere is going to get a straight up 10 out of 10. Honestly, I've never had a problem with Atmosphere in any Call of Duty Zombies game. I think they've hit the nail on the head for just about all of them. Maybe World War II. I mean, the problem with World War II is the overusage of the same soundtrack. Like, they had the same soundtrack for every single map, and I was like, you don't get that different, unique vibe from each map when you have the same soundtrack. So, I don't know, I didn't like that much, but the way the maps are differentiated with the soundtracks and the atmosphere and the locations, it is just some awesome shit. I mean, I'm thinking about compiling a whole video of the best zombie soundtracks of all time and just putting them together. And when I say soundtracks, I don't just mean the Easter egg songs. I also mean the soundtracks, the background music, the round change music, the different sounds that go when you walk into certain areas, the boss fight music, all sorts of that cool stuff that I'm really glad they introduced in this game. It's awesome. The atmosphere you have on all these maps are great. They all feel different from one another. None of them feel similar to one another. So that's a major positive. Innovation, pretty huge. Custom mutations was pretty big in my opinion. I mean, people don't really use it as much, but it's still a big innovation. Server pause is huge. Completely changed how we do Easter egg hunts and how we play with our friends. It's awesome in my opinion. The game modes that they added are great. Rush and Gauntlet, they're fun. You add different difficulty levels. That was cool too. That adds some more replay value. But then there's some innovations in this game that they had that I personally didn't like. I didn't like the D-pad issue that it had, the creative class system, the point system, and the perk system. I feel like those issues I'm not a big fan of, but is that enough to hate a mode? No, like I said. Now let's get into the main Black Ops 4 Zombies complaints. These are the main complaints that I've seen. I spend a lot of time on Twitter and YouTube, so I know what people are trying to say about this mode. I know what people do say about this mode. Let's go through all of them. So the main one I hear right now is reused assets and like the remade maps for the Ether story. That's the biggest one I'm hearing right now, and I have a really good defense against that. So it's a pretty simple defense actually. So people are complaining that the Ether has been nothing but remakes, and I'm here to say, first of all, the remakes. Do not call them remasters. I get so triggered when people call them remasters. Like, Tim Hansen, you're cool and all, I love your videos, but you literally keep calling them remasters, and I'm like, bro, do you know what a remaster is? A remaster is when you take a map and you export it to the next, you export it basically. It's not really copy and paste generally, but you're just taking the same thing. It's the same experience, just updated graphics, maybe changing a few things, like maybe adding some new quests, maybe adding a few guns here and there, but it's the same story, the same quotes, the same characters, the same experience. That's what a remaster is, right? A remake is taking that and completely changing the fundamentals of it. Like, you're changing the quests, you're changing the guns, you're changing the perks, you're changing the point of the map. The purpose of the map is different, so the story is going to be different. Everything's going to be different. That's what a remake is. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't even consider these maps to be remakes, because a remake to me is like The Giant. The Giant isn't really a remaster, but nor is it a completely new map. It's a new story. It's a new, but it still has the same pack-a-punch quest. It still has the same overall like map design, loadout, whatever all that be. Same wonder weapon, same remixed music. That to me is a remake in my opinion. These maps, Below the Dead, Classified, in Alpha Omega more so, to me just feels like going back to an old location and reusing kind of a design of a wonder weapon, but everything else is different. Like, Blood of the Dead and Classified, okay, I can see those being remakes. I can. Yeah, the majority of the map is the old map, but everything else is remade. Obviously, you have the one weapon back. I mean, everything else is new, is what I'm trying to say. Like, the story's new, the Easter egg quest is new. Blood of the Dead is nothing like Mob of the Dead. Nothing like it. There's no afterlife. There's no Golden Gate Bridge. The quests aren't the same. The characters aren't the same. The quotes. Everything's different on Blood of the Dead. It doesn't feel like a remake. It feels like you're just going back to Alcatraz on a new map. It feels like a sequel, almost, in some way, shape, or form. Classified definitely feels more like a remake because you only have like a few more new locations, and the Wintered Howl is pretty much the same as it was in Black Ops 1. It's just better. But the characters are just different. The story's different. The purpose is different. Very much different. Alpha Omega, though, I can't compare it to anything because it's nothing like the original map. It's literally got Nuketown in it. That's it. People just say, oh, it's Nuketown, so it's a remake. No, it's not. It is such an expanded version of what Nuketown was in Black Ops 2. It is so much bigger, so much more locations you can go to. Completely new wonder weapons. Yes, the Reagan Mark II variants are new. We haven't seen them before. Yes, it's based off of an old weapon, but it's still new. It's still something awesome to a lot of people. The story's new. They have a whole quest in the map. You have a whole boss fight. The original Nuketown didn't have that. And you know what people say? You know what their excuse is? Well, I already played it in Blackout. Bro, you're playing Blackout versus zombies. Like, what are you talking about? And actually, based on leaks, we actually know that Alpha Omega was in development before they added Nuketown to Blackout. So that means they took Alpha Omega, the production of it, the early production of it, and plopped the Nuketown that was there into Blackout. Well, I don't see the problem with that, though. It's like, that's what Blackout is. Blackout is made up of a bunch of multiplayer maps and zombies locations. So, isn't that just what Blackout is? I don't really know what you want them to do. And people call it lazy. Like, I don't know, since when was reusing assets late? Like, it's smart. It's not lazy, it's smart. It's saving resources and saving time for the benefit of us. Because we can get more content when they reuse assets. We can. And it's not like they're copy and pasting assets like it's nothing. It's not like we're just getting like multiplayer maps and they're just giving it to us as zombies maps. Like, that would be like lazy as fuck. But they're not doing that. Nuketown is a location that we actually should have gone back to because of the story. It'll fit in. There's so many cool story aspects that had to do with Nuketown, and it worked. And now people are freaking out. The whole entire game is remake. Did you forget about the Chaos story or something? Because we have a whole 4 maps with completely new assets. Completely new. And then I decided to compare it to Black Ops 3 Zombies. And people love to compare this game to Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 had only 4 completely original maps, right? And I call them completely original. I'm not going to call them new because Revelations is new, right? It's just not completely original. It's mainly based off of old maps. You know what I mean? But it's still, like, I agree, Alpha Omega isn't completely original. I agree. Blood of the Dead's not completely original. Classified's not. But they're still new maps. They're not, like, just completely remasters of any sort, to be honest. But yeah, so Alpha Omega, so Black Ops 3 has 4 completely original. So does Black Ops 4. Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, they have the same amount of completely original maps. So, and then people are like, well, yeah, I'm talking about the Ether. So you just want to completely forget about Chaos. If people just completely just forget about Chaos, they just say, fuck Chaos, man. I just want to care about Ether. It's like, you're not even a story guy. Like, people who don't even care about the story say that all the time. Like, I don't like Chaos. It's like, bro, you literally told me a week ago you don't care about story, you just care about gameplay. Now you're just saying you don't like Chaos? What's the difference between... The only difference is that fact that the perk machines are a little different in terms of gameplay aspects. Oh yeah, and the wonder weapons are different, or the specialist weapons are different in terms of, like, in-game mechanics. You know what I mean? Like, that's all is different, man. So I don't know. Next complaint is the Chaos story. The fact that people don't like it. Now, this is just preferences, but, like, it's something different in my opinion. I enjoy it. We get to visit some really cool locations. So the Titanic was one of the coolest locations I think we ever get to visit. So I like that. The new perk system, that's a huge complaint as well. And I agree, I didn't like it. But we are humans, right? We adapt to change. The removal of crutch perks I thought was good, though. That was a great change that I feel like we needed for a while, because yes, when I play Black Ops 3, what perks do I get? Jug, double tap, quick revive, and stamina or speed cola, depending on the map. That's about it. And if I'm playing with other people, I'll switch out quick revive for Widow's Wine. That's it. I don't get dead shot. I don't get mule kick. There's so many perks. I don't get lesser cherry unless I'm given the option to get more than 4 perks, of course. And I liked how this game tried to remove the ones that we're always going to use so we can start using ones that we're not going to use as much. Now, I don't think the balance is perfect. I do still use Quick Revive and Stamina Up every single game, but at least the other 2 options are different, and I always pick different perks for those 2 other options, so it gives me more replay value for what I'm trying to do, and depending on what I'm doing in the map will change what perks I'm using. Like, I might not use Quick Revive on certain modes. Like, for example, if I'm playing a hardcore mode, I'm not going to use Quick Revive. I mean, if I'm playing the one-hit mode or whatever, I'm not going to use Quick Revive. Not at all. I think it's a realistic mode, that's what it's called. So that changes up my gameplay a little bit. Stamina Up is the one perk, though, I always use, though, which, I mean, there's personal preference. Not everyone uses it. If you're camping or playing on a really small map, Stamina Up's not really as useful. Like, Classified, I don't really need Stamina Up, so that, I guess, matters to a degree. But I like just being fast and moving around fast, so I guess it's a personal preference more so. I don't know if it's really a crutch perk, though, in terms of gameplay. So I think that works. But what I don't like about the new perk system is the fact that you're forced to having 4 generic perk machines on the map without the perk jingles, without, you know, something unique about them. I do like how they're able to add so many more perks, though, so I like that. But is really just not having perk jingles really that big of a deal to say the game sucks? You know, it definitely does put a damper on some things, but not to make it shit or trash. Next complaint is the HUD. I don't like the HUD either. I still don't like the HUD to this day. But am I gonna call a game mode bad because of a HUD? No, that's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. I'm not gonna do that. And the last thing is just the fact that people call it boring or not fun. And I already kind of talked about this before. That's subjective. That is so subjective. There's plenty of things I don't personally find fun, but that doesn't make it bad or shit. It just means it isn't for me. So simply just go play something else and don't ruin our fun. You got people on Twitter. I've been having Twitter fights with these type of people who dread the game's existence and they're still playing it. I'm like, bro, you don't like zombies. You don't care for zombies, so stop playing it. You're hurting yourself with the unhappiness you're giving yourself by continuing to play the mode. It's not good for your health to do things that you don't like. Do things that you like and you'll have a better time. I've been playing zombies since World at War, and I've been loving it ever since then. I love Black Ops 4 Zombies. I have a great time with it. I think we have the most content we've ever had in zombies before in this game, and that's not even just me saying that. That's a fucking fact, man. That really is. Try to prove me wrong. Go for it. We'll have a fight in the comment section. Let me know what you think of Black Ops 4 in the comment section below. I want to hear your opinions, and I'm not going to be a dick. I want civil discourse. If we disagree, we have a civil conversation like adults. We don't yell at each other, call each other stupid. Even if I think your opinion's stupid, which I might think it's stupid, I'm not going to call you stupid for having a different opinion. But I'm going to call you stupid if you act like your opinion is fact, which is what people like to do. I will call you stupid if you do that, because that is stupid. That is stupid to go and say, I'm right, you're wrong, you're stupid because you think this game is good and I think this game is bad. I think it's shit. Well, no, I think it's good for me. Maybe for some people it's not good. Fine, whatever. But don't ruin our fun. Like, get out of here. Your constructive criticism is good, right? It's good to have constructive criticism. That's what I do. If you look at my channel, I've made countless videos with constructive criticism of Black Ops 4 Zombies. I made so many during the beginning of the launch. I said they need to change this HUD. They need to change this perk system. They need to change blah, 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 whatever it may be. That's constructive criticism, but I'm not going out saying it's trash, calling the developers lazy for doing remakes when they're not really even remakes. They kind of feel like new maps to me, but I guess you guys don't care because you guys just want to complain about something. They could literally give us the perfect zombies map. There will be complaints, and that is unfortunate to me. I want to see people having a good time. That's just what I want. I like positivity. I love positivity. Even when you need to constructive criticize something, you can do that, and that's fine. Just be nice about it. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Come on. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Nonetheless, Please go like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I'm trying to just do some big stuff on this channel, especially with Black Ops 2020 around the corner. Well, not really around the corner, but you get the idea. It's a year from now. But I'm really excited for that game. I'm excited for Modern Warfare, but not as much because I do love zombies a lot more than multiplayer. So zombies is like on my highest part of my radar. But please like the video, subscribe, check out my streams when I do. I will be streaming the new map this come Monday, so check me out. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.